Hello and welcome back to the channel. Well, we've just had a series of disasters over these last week or so, and I think we need to do a fleet stroke channel update. I've got some work to do. We'll worry about that later. Right, Agatha. As you probably know from a video previously, that Ricky dropped Agatha off to me, and she popped a hydrogas unit on the back, and she's looking a bit floppy. So just awaiting delivery of those. Those should come as of tomorrow. Yeah, train going by. Right, anyway, so Agatha, that will be worked on this week at some point, right? Mrs. Wynne, in all the commotion of moving cars around and getting Agatha here, which I wanted her out there, but she's here because of that. In all the commotion, Mrs. Wynne popped a brake pipe while we was moving cars around. Not too fussed about that at the moment because I've got some more serious issues going on. The Mighty White, I'll get onto that in a second. The Kia, as you've seen from the previous video about the Kia, I've done all the brakes, look, as you can see, nice shiny discs on there, and literally 3 days later of passing her MOT, she got sideswiped. Not... she got sideswiped this side. Insurance are now dealing with this because it was hit by a Morrison's van, and we've since found out that the driver of the Morrison's van hasn't put his accident in, even though the police chased him, got all the details off him for us to deal with. Morrison's knew nothing about this. So the insurance company we're in dispute now because they want to actually write the car off, but it is that old and it's got a lot of mileage. And the other day, while we're waiting for this to go on, that happened. So that's that lot. The Mighty White. Okay, for a while now I've been wanting to tune up my carburetors because it gets to the point where it runs like a bag of nails when it's cold, and then when it's hot the revs are a little bit too high. So I thought, right, let's just do a bit of a tune up on the carbs, and also they overflow quite a lot. As a result of that, I ended up having to take the carburetors off, strip them down, clean them all out, and they were, to be fair, a little bit cruddy, and they haven't been done for a while. So even though there is a fuel filter there, a little bit still gets through. So while I'd got the carburetors off and all cleaned up, put them all back together, got her running real nice. However, I can't connect the kickdown cable, because don't forget this car is an auto. However, I think the kickdown cable has become unattached inside the gearbox or transmission, whatever we want to call it, so I couldn't get full movement, and that is totally stuck. But it goes in and out, but it gets to a point and it's totally stuck. So as you can see, then she is now on ramps and I have to get under there, and the only way to have a look at this is to actually drain the fluid and take the cover off the bottom of the transmission. I didn't want to do this today, but next week is the BL show down at Gaydon, and it's also the Princess's 50th anniversary event. Obviously Mrs. Wynne is not going, but she was going anyway. Or she was, or she might be. I don't know. So let's get underneath, drain some fluid. It looks like it needs a clean under here anyway. Let's drain some fluid out and see what the hell is going on. So we've got the last remains of the oil draining out, and as you can see there, I've already removed the sump. Right, and I've already found the problem. So underneath here, inside here, this is the sump of the transmission. You've got all the valve block, there, and all the pipe work going to where it needs to go. Inside here is where you adjust the brake bands. I have been in here once before. For what it's worth, I think I may go back inside here and just check the adjustments, just check the torque settings are correct on the brake bands. Right, inside here, I'm not sure if you can see it, but there is the cable, which goes somewhere through there, but it looks like it's detached from here. Now I'm not sure if that is broke or it's meant to pivot, I don't know, but I need to find out now where this cable goes. And right, okay, so that spins and pushes a little plunger in there, so the cable has basically just come off from here somewhere. Right, okay, I can see it. So because the cable went slack when I took the carburetors off, so that just needs to be pushed back inside there. So let me see that this is correct. Yeah, now, yeah, so that's now back in position. Obviously it's a little bit slack, but I'm pretty sure that that is where it should be. Right, let's have a look up front, up top, and see if it's worked. Excuse my fingers. So there's my cable there, and oh, look at that, it now works. So obviously it had just gone slack while I was undoing my I got the carburetors off. Now according to the manual, there is that collar there. Now that is meant to sit right down there, but it looks like it's slipped. Now I can't move that, so at some point it's moved to where it shouldn't be, but I need to, oh yeah, I can see that actually. That is now beginning to move, so I'm now going to go off camera and see if I can slide this down to where it needs to be, which is right at the bottom there, so that, and I need to recrimp that, and that'll stop this little mishap happening in future, I think. So let's see if I can sort that out. Bear with me. So that's the little collar there, crimped back into position, and I can already hear that I've left a little bit of free play there, and I can hear that it's fully seated home at the bottom, and it's not pulling on the wheel. It's just resting there, so that's set just about right. So all I need to do now is reconnect this up to there, reconnect that up and go back underneath, and I can put that sump back on, and I think I will just pull that other little cover off and just check the settings on the brake bands. So just to double check that that is now all connected up. I've now got full movement on my throttle, so let's just confirm underneath that everything's still connected. Not sure if you can see in there, it's rather dark. Let's get some light on the subject. Can't quite see it, can we? Yeah, cable's still in line there. That's all good, that's all on. Right, let's bang this sump on. So that's the sump all back on, and that's okay. It's just rust. Yeah, sump back on and all bolted up, tightened up. Just need to tighten up my sump plug, and I've already removed the cover to adjust the brake bands. So there's only two adjustments I can make. So this is one brake band. So one's the forward and one's the rear brake band. So basically all there is just a torque setting, and as you can see there, that is one of the actual brake bands there. Don't ask me to explain what everything does at the moment. I'm not really in the mood to go down a history lesson, but anyway, so I just need to consult the manual to find out which one is which. One's the forward, one's a reverse brake band. Brake bands don't necessarily mean forward direction and backwards direction. They work in conjunction with each other while it's going through the gears. That's about as much as I want to explain, but basically the static adjustment is actually the tightness of the brake band round the drum. One is quite high-ish and the other one is quite low, but I can't remember which one it is at the moment. I think the one is as low as something like 5 Newton meters, which is barely nothing. So I don't have a torque wrench that goes that low. I do, but it doesn't quite register, and I wouldn't trust it. So it's basically finger tight, really. That's probably about as far as it needs to go. So let me consult the manual and I'll find out which one is which and what it needs to be. So that's up to its torque, and now all I need to do is back that off. Let's just say 1 full turn. So you can do this one-handed without dropping anything. There we go, 1 full turn thereabouts. So all I need to do now is wind the lock nut up. When I find my spanner, I'll tighten that up, and then we'll do the rear one. So that's the rear one adjusted, and the spring back in. I think there is a bit of wear on this rear brake band, so I would imagine a gearbox rebuild is going to be needed at some point. Jury's out on that at the moment, but we'll see how she drives once she's all back up and running. Shouldn't be too much of an issue because she was running okay and changing gear okay before I started messing with the carburetors, but yeah, we'll see. So I don't think there's much wrong in here anyway. The fluid is still quite nice and pink anyway that's in there, which is good. It's not looking burnt or anything like that. The telltale signs of any of the clutch packs or the brake bands going is basically down to the clutches burning, and it will show you when you get the fluid out. It should still be nice and pink. If it's brown, then yeah, it's signs of your clutches and all that starting to burn out. So yeah, we can go ahead now and put this all back together and see what happens. So that's my sumps back in and tightened up, all bolted up nice. So I'm guessing there's around about 4 litres of oil in there, maybe 5. I've got 5 litres and a little bit spare anyway, so time to fill her back up. So as with most automatic transmissions, straight through into the dipstick, and let's get some fluid in there and see how she goes. So we've got a good level and I'm now just priming it through the gears. So all I need to do now is take her for a test run and see what happens. I've got nowhere to actually put my camera at the minute, so bear with me. So we're out on the move, currently in third, so let's do a kick down. There we go, into second, and up she goes. Holding it well. Oh yes, nice. Performing nice, I'm happy with that. So let's go from a stop into first, into second, into third. Nice. Oh, she performs nice. I do like. See if she'll kick down at 30. Do a forced kick down. Yep. Nice. Doesn't feel to be any slippage or drag. I'm really happy with that. That's turned out nice. Well, not a job I wanted to do, but kind of glad I've done it. So all I need to do now is get her back home, check the levels. Right, okay, good. Let's check levels, top up as required. Seems to be running nice as well. Tick over's not too high. Yeah. And she didn't run on. Right. Done. So that's it from me in this video. Yeah, fleet update, and I don't know where the Jag is. I think it's outside Ricky's, or that's where it were when I last saw it. So yeah, hopefully within the next couple of days we'll have the units for Agatha and also the replacement units for Mrs. Wynne. So over the next few days as well, I'll see how the Ambassador runs. I might need to make some adjustments to the carbs, maybe the kick down cable. We'll see how it goes, but initially it seems to be okay. So I think we'll probably just leave it alone, see how it goes. If it needs adjusting, it's just going to be a 2-minute quick fix, I hope. Yeah, so the Mighty White is back up and running. The Kia Ceed is usable, but it is apparently going to be written off, which is not very good, but there we go. It's just how things are sometimes. So there will be more videos following soon, as soon as I get to work on Agatha and hopefully get to take her out, as was the plan. But oh well, life throws a wobbly sometimes, and it's all part of owning a classic. So take care of yourselves and each other. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you soon. Take care. Bye bye.